culture-wise, there's always a shock when you go to a different country. Food was the main problem. I'm a vegetarian. I'm Indrani Das. I'm an associate research professor at Lamont. My PhD was in atmospheric physics at Indian Space Research Organization. I was looking at how light is scattered. So that's the only way to detect an aerosol is how the smaller particles, the aerosols, they scatter light and what radiation then reaches back to the satellite. I was looking for my next adventure. After I did my PhD, I was looking for a postdoc, and also I took a job in the Indian Himalayas where I was introduced to snow and ice. And then because the Indian Himalayas is so pretty, it's just so remote and exciting, so I decided to look for postdoctoral positions. And also I was planning to work on snow and ice and glaciers. So I came to Alaska, University of Alaska Fairbanks. Because they had a position open at the time, and I wanted to explore Alaska. Coming to Alaska, also, if I'm in New York, there is a lot of choice. But if I'm in Alaska, there is not much of a choice. And then I do field work, which so it was a little difficult for me. When you come to Alaska, that's an extreme, or coming to the lower 48 or coming to Alaska. Something I did not realize, like when you're in India, you don't feel that, okay, Alaska can be so cold. It's extreme cold. So the seasonal differences, Alaska in Fairbanks, you have, in winter, it's like almost the sun never rises. Well, it's there, but it's like very low on the horizon and there's not much sunlight. So all those things, I had very good friends, I would say, who helped me. I didn't feel a lot of difference. And remember, I came to have an adventure, so I was having the adventure of my lifetime. And then I thought it was meant to be 2 years and I would go back to my job in India, but that didn't happen. I came to Lamont, and have been here since then. I work on cryospheric sciences, which is the physics of ice sheets and how they are changing mass because of the warming climate. So I study how ice interacts with the ocean, also how ice, when it moves, how it stretches and thins, and damage fields, ice flow, mass balance. I take part in a lot of outreach activities. That's one of my favorite ways of sharing my research with other people. I give talks or have demos. Like in open house, we have stalls where we interact with people, showing our science to them. Other than that, I also give a lot of lectures outside. So starting from high school all the way to adults, and then of course scientifically we publish papers, and these days we keep everything in open access. Because the polar regions are so far away, people don't understand that everything that we are doing, like our greenhouse emissions, it impacts the earth, and including remote places like the polar regions. And when they warm, sea level is not a dream. It's the coast is right here, and every millimeter we think that, okay, the sea level has not risen so too much, and then maybe it's just going to rise a little bit by the end of the century, so let's not worry about it. But then they forget that for every millimeter of sea level rise that we have in our coast, it gives rise to even stronger and stronger storm surges. Then there are also more moisture in the atmosphere because your sea level has risen a little bit more, and then, like we were saying, the occurrence of storms, it's more frequent, and those are all connected. I think that our policymakers should become more involved in it. So once they take a problem seriously and develop some plans, even though if those plans are rudimentary, people will start to understand. But then this is also if people will understand more, then the politicians start to take notice. So start talking about it. Maybe it starts from you guys, the younger generation.